guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin if you're new here, and on this channel we talk about building your dream life. We talk about all things fashion, beauty, femininity. We talk about living the soft life, being the main character, manifestation, being feminine, loving your femininity, all of that good stuff. And so if that sounds like a community that you'd be interested in joining, please feel free to click the subscribe button down below. It would mean the world to me if you wanted to join my little family here on YouTube. And feel free to follow me over on my Instagram at Caitlin Mahina, or on my TikTok or my Pinterest. Over on those platforms, I post a lot more fashion focused content. Speaking of fashion, let's just go ahead and jump into the video. I've talked about it here and there pretty often on my channel, but I wanted to do a dedicated video all about the power of getting dressed up and how to actually call in your manifestations with what you're wearing, how, you know, what you're wearing can contribute to living the dream life that you've always wanted. All in all, I just kind of wanted to explore the connection between how getting dressed and like taking your appearance seriously and manifesting your dreams, how those two things are related. So let's go ahead and get into it. And what I want to start off with is, what do I mean when I say getting dressed up? Because that can be obviously very different depending on what your style is, what you're interested in, what your body type is like, what your lifestyle is like. A whole bunch of different factors can play into what everyone interprets as getting dressed up. And for me personally, when I'm talking about getting dressed, what that means and what I'm going to be talking about in this video is putting intention and effort into your outfits. Your actual style is irrelevant. It's as long as you are putting thought into what is going on your body every single day and making an effort to look put together in some way. I wanted to throw in some thoughts here before we really get into the meat of this video, and something that I've realized lately is that society has kind of come to a point where people get almost like shamed or judged for being overdressed. And I don't know if it's still my Instagram bio, but I used to have in my Instagram bio for quite a while, you know, always overdressed. And that is something that I kind of live by. And I'm not saying you always need to be the most overdressed person in the room to, you know, get lessons from this video, but I think that society has simultaneously come to this point where if you're overdressed and you're putting in a lot of effort into your look, you will get judged for it. Like friends or family members will be like, why are you so dressed up? But at the same time, society definitely still judges people by how they look. So it's like this really weird paradox where people don't want to dress up because they feel like they're going to be judged or ridiculed. But then if you're not dressed up and you don't look put together and you don't look polished, society will still make snap judgments about you and your character. And I just want to know, like, when and why did it become like such a normal part of society to not care about your appearance? Like, yes, I do believe that COVID definitely had an impact. Everyone stopped leaving the house. But as someone who studied fashion merchandising in college and studied a lot of fashion history, I think it's kind of sad how a lot of people are perfectly comfortable with leaving the house and meeting up with other people in like mismatched tracksuits and, you know, just messy hair and just no effort into their appearance. And I'm gonna admit here, yeah, I've absolutely been that person before. I'm sure we all have been that person before, and I'm not here to shame anyone at all. If that is the phase that you're at in your life, but you want to change, my channel and this video are definitely for you. And one more thing that I wanted to say here is that I have talked to a lot of people in my personal life, and when they comment on, you know, the fact that I'm always really dressed up, and they start to kind of like show interest in the fact that like, oh, you know, I kind of want to do the same thing, I think there's a lot of self-doubt when it comes to, you know, feeling like you're worthy of getting dressed. You are inherently worthy of feeling confident and feeling good and feeling like the best version of yourself during every minute of the day. So if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, like, who am I to like get dressed up? Because I used to have those feelings all of the time. Like, who am I to, you know, be the best dressed person in the room? Oh no, I am the best dressed person in the room. It's kind of like that quote that Rihanna said, she might beat me, but she won't ever beat my outfit. Like, that kind of energy is what I'm talking about. So let's talk about why I feel that there's value in getting dressed up and being overdressed and how it can actually help you with your life. And the first thing I want to talk about is obviously confidence. And this might seem like an absolute no-brainer. Think about how vulnerable you feel when you're in a hospital gown. You know, you're at the ER or, you know, somewhere where you need to be in a hospital gown and you just feel so like delicate and weird. You feel like you're under a microscope. Like you feel like just super uncomfortable and super, super weird. Now think about how you feel when you're wearing heels and you are strutting, or maybe if you're not a heels girl, you are in your favorite outfit, or that one time that you wore this amazing dress to a special occasion and you haven't dug it out of your closet ever since, and you felt so good, you felt like the prettiest girl in the room, and just everyone had their eyes on you. Think about that moment. There have actually been studies done on the difference between someone who approaches a social situation and feeling kind of not great about their appearance and someone who feels really, really great about their appearance and how put together they look. And it's actually been shown that dressing up and feeling good about your outfit can improve your posture, it can improve your body language, it can make you more open and receptive in social situations. It can even increase your confidence to talk to people that you maybe wouldn't be talking to or want to approach if you're dressed a different way. We all know how awkward and embarrassing it is when you get caught by someone you know wearing something that makes you feel not very good. Like think about when you open the door and you're in just like your frumpiest, you know, PJ set, and the mailman sees you and you're just like, oh my god, like, ugh, don't look at me, like just don't, like that super, super uncomfortable feeling. Or you run out to run errands and you're wearing just, you know, leggings with holes in them, and you have this horrible messy bun that you haven't brushed your hair in 3 days, and you run into someone that you know and you're just like, oh, like every part of you just hates that. I got to a point in my life where I was so tired of that feeling, and I was so tired of apologizing for my personal appearance. Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry I look like this. I just, you know, and you make all these excuses. I hate that feeling. And when I realized that that was happening to me over and over and over again, I stopped leaving the house looking like a hot mess. The second reason as to why I would highly suggest you put effort into your appearance is that it's actually a form of self-care. And I think that a lot of people think about self-care and they think about, you know, spa days and things having to do with your physical body. But what about what we choose to put on our bodies? And a huge example of this for me and in my life was during the pandemic. I really, really let myself go. I gained 20 pounds. I was not taking care of my skin at all. I was covered in acne. My hair was always tangled. I just felt and looked like the absolute worst version of myself that I have ever felt. Letting go of my personal appearance standards like that really led to a slippery slope and a very fast downhill slide with my self-esteem, my motivation, and honestly, I think that it led to some form of depression for me. When you're putting that effort into your appearance as a form of self-care, you are much less likely to go on that downhill slide of just letting everything else go with your self-care routine. Reason number 3 as to why you should be getting dressed and feeling put together as often as possible is it can actually boost your productivity. If you have ever worked from home before, you know exactly what I am talking about here. Again, pandemic example, but I worked from home for probably a year and a half between 2020 and 2021. And as soon as I stopped getting dressed up, which I did for the entire time that I was working from home, I don't think I ever got dressed up once. I had a really hard time getting out of bed. I could barely motivate myself to do anything. All I wanted to do was just lay on the couch and watch a show while I was working from home. And you know, I was doing all these other things that were just not work from home, because when you're lounging around in ratty PJs or sweats all day, it mentally puts you in that mind state of being comfy and being cozy and wanting to sleep and not feeling productive. It also helps you set your intention for the day. So think about it. If you want to motivate yourself to work out, something that people say a lot as a trick is just put on your workout clothes. Once you get those workout clothes on, you feel like, okay, I might as well just go to the gym. Like I went through the effort of putting the clothes on. Point number 4 is that I strongly believe that getting dressed up appropriately for whatever situation you find yourself in is respectful to the other people that you'll be with, that you're working with, that you're, you know, having fun times with. I've only been to a handful of weddings in my adult life that I can like actually remember. That makes it sound really bad, like I was like really drinking or something. I just haven't been to a lot of weddings. But anyway, we all know what it's like when you show up to a wedding and there's that one husband that just clearly doesn't want to be there. He is not dressed up appropriately for the wedding and he just sticks out like a sore thumb, and everyone's like, oof. Yeah, who dragged John here? You know what I mean? And so it's respectful to those around you to be appropriately put together and not look like you just crawled out of bed and threw some dirty laundry on yourself and called it an outfit. Point number 5 is one that might upset a few people, but I think it is the truth. And that is that pretty privilege is real. And when I say pretty privilege, I know that that more so is talking about like gorgeous women, but I do believe for anyone, no matter what you look like, no matter your hair type, skin color, you know, style of dressing, whatever it is, if you put effort into your appearance, you will have that same pretty privilege that a lot of people get. I hope that I'm not coming across the wrong way as like very, very entitled on this video, because that's not my intent at all. I have been in many situations where when I've walked into a room really, really dressed up, people treat me better. I've been on vacations or been to places like hospitality events where I'll get free things. I'll get offered into the VIP section or the back room, or I'll get extra special things that happen to me whenever I'm really dressed up. And I know that that's kind of like a hard pill to swallow. It's like, what do you mean I have to dress up in order to, you know, be treated nicely? I'm not saying that's like a direct correlation and like 100% of the time that that is the case, but especially if you're on the fashion side of YouTube or the luxury fashion side of YouTube, you hear and see all of these stories about people, you know, walking into an Hermes and one person's dressed like a slob and one person is well dressed and put together. Who do the sales associates want to help? So it's a hard truth to swallow, but I definitely think that that is a perk of getting dressed up and actually putting effort into your appearance. Now let's get into the juicy part of the why I think it is so important to be getting dressed up as often as possible. And that is, I strongly feel that it can help you call in your manifestations and manifest your dream life. Getting dressed up and really taking advantage of maximizing your confidence, putting so much effort into yourself that you feel amazing, helps you embody the dream version of yourself that you want to become. Because if you are on a manifestation journey, if you are looking to up-level your life, you want amazing experiences, you want more money, you want more opportunities, you want to find a partner that's like your dream partner. All of those things will come to you more easily if you look put together on the outside. Once you're in that energy of, I feel amazing, I am putting my best foot forward today, you are more confident, as I mentioned before. You are more open to interacting with people and seeking out opportunities, and people notice you. People will turn their heads as you walk down the street. Every morning when I get dressed up and I am putting on the best outfit that I possibly can for every situation, it makes me approach each situation in my life as the best version of myself. I kind of think of myself like a Barbie ever since seeing the Barbie movie. So if I'm going on a date with someone and a man is taking me to a nice restaurant, the outfit that I am putting on is something that is going to make me feel like the most attractive version of myself. I would not wear that same outfit to have an incredible workout. If I'm going to the gym and I want to look good, feel good, do good at the gym, I am not gonna be wearing the same outfit that I'm gonna wear to work when I know that I have a review with my boss that day. To that, I'm gonna be, you know, career Barbie. I'm gonna show up with the best, most put together, you know, confident version of myself at work outfit. And so dressing up and putting effort into your look and sort of tweaking all of your looks so that you're showing up to all these different situations in your life as the best version of yourself is a concrete step that you can take towards actually achieving your biggest manifestations. Approaching getting dressed this way has truly helped me become the main character of my life. And for the last section of this video, let's talk about the how. How can you start this journey of being dressed up and putting effort into your appearance and calling in all of your manifestations? The first tip that I want to give you is to take baby steps and start small. I have been collecting clothing for a very long time. As I mentioned, I was a fashion merchandising student in New York, and I started seriously building my clothing collection that makes me feel like the best version of myself over the course of, gosh, it's been 4 years since I've graduated college. And so if you are in a stage where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start, I hate everything that I own, nothing makes me feel good, I don't know what to do, take baby steps. You will not be going from sweatpants to a 3-piece suit overnight. Now is not the time to necessarily completely overhaul your entire wardrobe. And I know that might sound crazy, but let me explain. As humans, we crave what is familiar to us. And so what I've noticed when I've been in stages of my life where I've taken in a lot of new clothing that are like really awesome pieces, I get this weird imposter syndrome because it doesn't feel familiar, it doesn't feel like me. So even though I'll be in a phase where I'll have a ton of new pieces in my closet, I will still gravitate towards the things that I know, even if I don't necessarily feel like they're really serving me the best way that they possibly can. And so add little tweaks to your wardrobe that will up level your closet. Something else that I want to say is make sure that what you're wearing actually feels like you. And I think I did a video a really long time ago about how to find your style or something similar like that. If not, there are plenty of other videos here on YouTube, or maybe I'll make a new one. That's something that's kind of been on my mind for a while, but I think a lot of people, when they're sort of leveling up their closet and like maybe they have more money than they used to before and they kind of want to dress better, well, they start buying things that they think they should be interested in, because that's what everyone wears at my office, or that's what everyone's wearing on social media. Make sure what you're buying actually feels like it's authentic to you and your style. I also want to say that leveling up your wardrobe and putting intention and effort into your outfits does not have to be expensive. Before you roll your eyes at me, I have been on a journey of building this closet. I know exactly what it's like to want to upgrade your wardrobe, but you don't have a lot of extra dollars on hand to do so. These days, there are so many options for buying things that are high quality but won't break the bank. I've talked about Nuuly before. They are a clothing rental service. They are not sponsoring this video. I've talked about them in depth on a bunch of other videos on my channel. But clothing rental services like Nuuly are a really great way to find your personal style and to not break the bank, because you can rent clothing pieces and you can experiment with your style and you can see what really truly feels like you. So when you're upgrading your closet, you're upgrading your personal appearance, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on designer items. Just make sure that where you can, you are investing in things that are of higher quality so they will last you for a much longer time. Another thing I wanted to mention is I think a lot of people choose not to get dressed up because they think it's super time consuming and it will require a ton of effort. It takes maybe 5 minutes more to put on the kind of outfit that I'm wearing right now. You can't see the whole thing obviously, but hair accessories, jewelry, sweater. I've got some slacks on because I just came from work. I put on some loafers, I grabbed a bag. There is a 5-minute difference between putting on this outfit and putting on something that does not make me feel good. And so I know I mentioned little tweaks earlier as far as adding new things to your closet. I also believe in the small incremental upgrades to your daily routine. So you're not gonna go from dressing, you know, like a potato to dressing like, I don't know, a supermodel off duty overnight. So one day you make it a part of your routine to put on a little bit of jewelry. Once that becomes your normal, next you start adding hair accessories. Once that becomes your normal, you start doing another thing and another thing and another thing, and before you know it, it takes no time at all to put on an outfit that makes you feel absolutely amazing. And the last thing I want to say is this should be fun. This should be a fun experience. It shouldn't be a chore to be like, ugh, I have to make myself look good today. Like, oh, what a bummer. No, absolutely not. It is a gift to get dressed up every morning. It is a chance to express yourself. And so make it something fun and enjoyable. You get to feel confident. You get to feel beautiful, sexy, productive, you know, tough, like a boss woman, whatever it is that you want to feel like. Every single day you get to be your own Barbie. You get to be your own masterpiece for whatever it is that you get to wear. And we only have so much time on this earth. I did not mean for this to get morbid at the end here, but this just came to mind. We only have so much time. Do you want to spend your entire life feeling like you could have been dressing better? Or do you want to spend your life making the most of it, making the most of this body that we get to decorate and take out and have experiences? If you want more details or inspiration as to how to actually style yourself, I do pretty much all fashion content on my Instagram and TikTok, like I mentioned, and I do a lot of fashion content here on YouTube as well. I sort of do 50-50 on fashion content and, you know, more chatty, sort of up-leveling your life content like this. And so if that's something that you're interested in, please feel free to subscribe down below. It would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much to everyone who subscribed recently because of my fall fashion trends video. And that video has done very, very well for me. And so if you want some inspiration, check out that fall fashion trends video. But that's everything I have for you guys. Let me know what you think about anything I talked about today in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video, which I believe will be a fall Amazon favorites, including some fashion pieces that are inexpensive, but high quality and worth keeping in your wardrobe for a very long time. So I think you'll really enjoy that video. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and bye for now.